Hello and welcome to the award-winning Bowie Youth Showcase. I am your host, Jazmya Nicholson. We are so happy you tuned into the Bowie Youth Showcase. We have an exciting show lineup for you today, so stay tuned. I will be right back to tell you all about it. Hello, and welcome to the Bowie Youth Showcase. My name is Jazmya Nicholson. This segment is called Career Profile. It's where we speak with business owners around the entire metropolitan area on how to start and maintain a successful business. I have with me here in the studio the president and CEO of Systems, Application, and Technologies, Inc., SA Tech, located in Largo, Maryland. We have pianist, drummer, and singer and dance composer Eli White, along with our BYS news segment with Justice Flora, Julian, and Christin Jenkins. You don't want to miss this show. Let's start with Mr. Tim Adams, President and CEO of SA Tech. Welcome, Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams holds a Master of Business Administration degree from the University of New Orleans and a Bachelor of Science degree from Xavier University in New Orleans, LA. He also has attended the Minority Business Executive Program at Tuck College of Business at Dartmouth College and the Business Innovation Management Program at the A. James Clark School of Engineering and Robert H. School of Business in the University of Maryland, College Park. Thank you so much, Mr. Adams, for taking the time to sit with us and talk to us on how to start and maintain a successful business.
Hey, thank you for having me this evening.
You're welcome. So how long have you been in business?
Well, I'm blessed to have started my business almost 30 years ago. I started in the fall of 1988 and incorporated February 6, 1989.
Wow, okay. So question for you, while working on your MBA, how were you inspired to get into the field that you're currently in? Tell me all about that.
Well, actually what happened during my undergraduate studies, I did a co-op. And I worked as a chemist with U.S. Customs. And at that time, I realized that I just didn't want to spend my career in a lab. So I went on and got my MBA. And from there, I started in finance. And with the combination of the science degree and the MBA, I was recruited into the aerospace industry. And so that's how I got my start.
Wow. So when starting out with the handful of contracts that you had, what did you find to be the most helpful ways to keep evolving and growing your business? And how do you suggest to other people to do that?
I think from my perspective, what was really helpful is I had an opportunity to understand, when it came to my customers, their mission. Being in a service industry, I learned to be able to listen to what the customers really wanted. Sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves and try and tell them what they need, as opposed to I had an opportunity to listen to what they wanted. When I listened to what they wanted and what they needed, then I was able to really create that mission. And I learned from General Arthur Gregg, who is a mentor of mine, and that is first you have to understand the mission, then you have to buy into it, and then every day you have to do something to accomplish that mission. So from a business perspective, I think that's really important for you to do, is to understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish. How are you going to support your customer? And then every day work hard at trying to accomplish that.
Okay. So I will ask you this. Where did you get your start?
Well, I got my start in Oxnard, California. That's where I really got my start. There was a female by the name of Anise Eisler, who I was recruited into the area, again, because I had an MBA and a science background, and that was the hot ticket back then. And I was given an opportunity to learn weapon systems. And she taught me weapon systems, and that's how I got my start. Meanwhile, because of my finance background, I was also allowed to understand the finance side and work in the accounting and finance as well. So I had the best of both worlds. I was able to see technically how things operated and financially how they operated as well. And that was a tremendous learning experience for me.
So I will ask you, I'm personally interested. What is the hardest part of owning a business, and what's the most rewarding part of owning a business and doing what you do?
I think I've been very blessed as far as challenges go. I think the hardest part about a business is developing that resiliency. And what I mean by that is there are going to be challenges. There are going to be times that there are going to be people who aren't going to be as direct with you as you like. that there are going to just be issues. Things are going to happen. Budgets are going to get cut. And the tough part about that is how many people's lives it affects. You know, today I can say that hundreds of men and women get up, put on my SATEC badge, and go out and do national defense and national security. But when there are cuts and issues that happen, then you have to look at people and take on the responsibility of knowing that their families will be impacted and how you can help them and how to work with it. The flip side is that's the rewarding part as well. Knowing that you can inspire and influence so many people's lives. You know, I often talk about some small things that happen. For example, we had a contract where we were able to go out and hire people and bring them in to do some work in a very area that had really been hit with a lot of unemployment. And the most cherished moments I have is the letters I got from people writing me and telling me how much they appreciated being given an opportunity, because how it allowed them to bring their families together, how it allowed them to get back to life, how it allowed them to regain their self-esteem. So being able to do that and give back to people, that's the rewarding part. And that even goes with the community. Because of the business, I have an opportunity to support and help philanthropically and otherwise to my community, to give back. You know, my parents taught me about giving back, and that's the most important thing. So one of the real jewels about having a business is it has a vehicle that not only you can create opportunity and create jobs, but also you can give back to your community and bless those the same way you've been blessed.
What would you say to any prospective business owners out there? What is the easiest way, not the easiest way, what do you suggest? Like if they really want to go out there and do it, how do you do it? Like what steps do you take?
I think the first thing is to understand what your passion is. And I know that's difficult for some people because they say, no, I just want to get a business, I just want to do that. But I think it starts with understanding and knowing what you want to do and where your real talent is. And I think that's the first step. I think you have to be willing to put yourself out there and risk failure. That's hard for people to take, but it's true. You can't be afraid to fail. And that goes back to when I talked about being able to have that resiliency. Mm-hmm. So the real part about that is understanding that when you go out there, you don't get to create the rules. You don't get to create the environment. And one thing I'll digress a little bit and say to you, one of the things I always talk to young people about when they start business, or anybody when starting a business, and that is never allow your self-worth of who you are be dependent upon how your business succeeds or whatever, because you don't get to control that. And so, you know, never allow yourself to get into who you are based upon what your business does, be that good or bad. Right. So that's a part of it too. But again, it's about resiliency and understanding there are going to be setbacks, but you have to stay focused, and you have to do, as I talked about before, you have to know what your mission is. Mm-hmm. You have to buy into that mission, and then you've got to do something every day to accomplish that mission.
Okay. So tell our audience about the recognition you received as one of the 100 top African American leaders in America by the Black U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, you know, it's always very humbling and flattering, you know, to be recognized by your peers and others. You know, I often just simply say I've been blessed, because I have been. It was a real shock to be acknowledged as such, but it's also a lot of responsibility that goes on with that. Because as we talk about leaders, mm-hmm. it's about making sure that it's not about ourselves. And that goes back to that giving back to the community and making sure that those who come behind us have the opportunities that we had. You know, for a lot of us, it's now our time to step up and make sure that those who paved the way for us know that we're picking up the mantle and paving the way for those coming behind us. We've got to make sure that there's a level playing field for minorities and women and small businesses in general. We've got to make sure that there are opportunities for people. So it's humbling, it's flattering, but it's also about responsibility and understanding that we have a role to play to make the world and particularly our communities better for those who come in behind us.
So the opportunities for people you just talked about, how do we create these opportunities and what do we do with them?
Well, I think creating the opportunities, first we have to fight for the rights that we've gained. And what I mean by that is, we have to look at, for example, where we are now and the economy we have. We talk about how great the economy is doing and all that, but we have to make sure that it equates to jobs and fair pay for people as we move forward. So when we talk about how do we do that, well, we have to make sure that we invest back into our communities. One of the main things we have to do is invest in education. Absolutely. And that's something that is really near and dear to me. I am blessed. I have a wonderful wife. I have 3 wonderful kids. But the thing that makes all of it work for all of us in all of our lives is, what is our education system like? What are the young men and women who come out, who create our workforce? How prepared are they? How are they doing? So we've got to make sure that we invest in our children. We've got to make sure we invest in education. So when I talk about creating opportunities, the first place we create opportunities, economic opportunities, is in our schools with our kids, because that's our future leaders. So, we talk about starting businesses and doing those things, but you have to have a workforce to support that. And we've got to have an educated workforce. So we've got to remember and continue to pour our resources into educating and developing our kids.
And what do you think the change, or how should the change be brought about in Prince George's County and Maryland in general, as far as the education that you're saying?
Oh, I think it's an issue that we have to address, and we have to just speak truth to power. We have to look at it and say, okay, what we've been doing has not been as successful as we would like. Okay. I talked to a young lady who talked about, 20 years ago, her parents sat down and had a conversation about how were they going to afford to have her go to private school, because they couldn't afford for her not to go to private school. Mm-hmm. And she said how she was sitting with her husband, with her 2 little girls, having the same conversation. And so we've got to change that. We've got to put it into a perspective where everybody has the opportunity, that we invest, that we look at what we're doing on a state level, right, to be able to fund Prince George's County and other areas and make sure that it's fairly done. We've got to look at how we're doing that, because it's obvious it's a systemic problem if we continue to have it. Mm-hmm. But we've also got to make sure that we brand our education system much better. We need to understand that we do have successes within the county, that it isn't all doom and gloom. But we've got to bring all of the stakeholders together and have a consensus of what we want our education system to look like. And once we build that consensus, then we can move back and look at what we need to do to get to that extraordinary school system that we all feel our kids deserve and need.
Okay. And as we close, do you have any other interest at this time?
Well, yes, as you may be aware, I'm running for State Senate, District 23. And the reason I'm doing that is because of some of the things we just talked about. Mm-hmm. No, it's time. We have to change the dynamics of what we're doing. We have to look at our education and make sure that our kids, that we're totally funding education, that we're not just looking at, K through 12, but we're also looking at our university system. We have Bowie State University here, but we haven't been funding it the way it should be. That should be a true economic engine here. We have to look at health care. We have an aging population. We have to do coordinated care. We have to make sure we reach out more into the community. Absolutely. And bring health care to them. And so we have to do that. And then, as I talked a little earlier about, it's so important that we level the playing field for small businesses, but particularly for women and minorities. It's that time. We have to make that change. And if we really want to be that economic engine that we hope Prince George's County will be, we have to change that dynamic.
Well, I look forward to you to make some great changes.
Hey, thank you so very much, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us on the Bowie Youth Showcase and speaking with all of us on how to start and maintain a successful business. Also, congratulations on all 5 of your Top Industrial Service Companies Awards. The nation's largest Black industrial service companies from 2013 through 2017, which was also published each time in Black Enterprise magazine. We salute you. Thank you again for joining us on Bowie Youth Showcase. Coming up next, a performance from Eli White with his guitar.
just like the river I've been on running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh yes it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me not to hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it will. Then I go to my brother. I said, brother, help me, please. But he winds up knocking me. Back down on my knees. There have been times that I thought I wouldn't last for long. Oh, but by the grace of God, I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it will, yeah.
Thanks, Eli. That was fantastic. We will hear from Eli again later. Next is our BYS and Bowie Youth Showcase news with Justice Flora, Julian Thomas, and Christin Jenkins. Take it away, guys.
Hello, and welcome to the Bowie Youth Showcase news. I'm Christin Jenkins.
I'm Justice Flora. And I'm Julian Thomas.
And this is the Bowie Youth Showcase news. Today's news is about the Fine Arts Showcase at Woodstream Church. In the studio today, we have Ms. Wanda Coleman, the director of the Children's Ministry at Woodstream Church, and Ms. Deborah Martin, the Safe Place Ministry leader. Welcome, ladies, to the Bowie Youth Showcase news.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Coleman, can you tell us about the new initiative you have for kids?
Yes, Woodstream Church has a new initiative which will allow children to exhibit different skills and talents through the fine arts. Studies have proven that children establish critical life skills by being exposed to the fine arts, such as they can exhibit creativity, problem solving, collaboration, and then it helps them to build confidence.
Okay, thank you. Does someone have to be a member of Woodstream Church to attend the Fine Arts Showcase?
No, the Fine Arts Showcase is open to the community. There are a number of children at Whitstream Church and in the community who are very, very talented, and we want to give them an opportunity to showcase their skills and abilities.
So when will this Fine Arts Showcase, when does it take place, and when's the time and date for the showcase?
Yes, the Fine Arts Showcase will take place on Saturday, April 28th at 2 p.m. at Whitstream Church.
So a lot of people want to know, where is Whitstream Church located?
Oh, Whitstream Church is located at 9800 Lotsford Road, Mitchellville, Maryland, 20721.
Thank you.
Ms. Martin, what is a Safe Place Ministry?
The Safe Place Ministry is one of the newer ministries at Whitstream Church. Our mission is to support families who have children with special needs. We want to help all children realize that they have God-given potential and support them in any way that we can. We have workshops about educational issues for parents. We have various events for the children, such as a fashion show that we've had before, and an art show, which will be part of the showcase.
Great. Now, what is the purpose of the art exhibit?
Well, the purpose of the art exhibit is to help the community at large look beyond the challenges that some children with special needs have, and to help them to see that even though children may have special needs, they also are uniquely talented and gifted.
Great. In addition to that, why is art important for children with special needs?
Well, art is the perfect vehicle for children with challenges to realize that really everyone views the world differently, and they're no different in that way. Art is a way for them to express themselves, even though a child may be nonverbal or have communication challenges. People will be amazed what they're able to do when they actually draw or paint or create things with their hands. And so it builds self-esteem, it builds confidence, especially when the community comes out and supports their work that they've done. So we really, really want people to come out to the Fine Arts Showcase, but especially to come out and support the children during the art show. Visitors will be able to purchase art through a silent auction that we're going to have. So it really is going to be a fun day and very, very supportive of the special needs families.
One last question. Does someone have to be a member of Whitstream Church to participate in the art exhibit?
No, not at all. We really, really encourage children in the community who are not members of Whitstream to support us. We will be reaching out to some of the local schools to get artwork, but it's absolutely open to everyone.
And how can someone contact you for more information about the art exhibit?
For more information, they can email our ministry at thesafeplaceministry@gmail.com.
So for more information about the Fine Arts Showcase and art exhibit, call Whitstream Church at 301-955-1142. Remember, you heard it here first on Bowie Youth Showcase News. If you have a story about a youth in the community that we can spotlight, please email us at bysn.jcj@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us on this segment of the Bowie Youth Showcase News. We are your hosts, Christin Jenkins,
Justice Flora,
and Julian Thomas.
See you next time.
We would like to thank Ms. Coleman and Ms. Martin of Whitstream Church for being with us today. We would also like to thank Tim Adams, the President and CEO of Systems, Application, and Technologies, Inc., pianist, drummer, singer, dancer, and composer Eli White, Bowie Youth Showcase News with Justice Flora, Julian Thomas, and Christin Jenkins. Keep up the good work, guys, and keep bringing us those great news stories. We here at Bowie Youth Showcase thank all of our viewers for tuning in every week. Bowie Youth Showcase is here to educate, motivate, inspire, and uplift all of our youth. Until next time, I am Jazmya Nicholson.
Baby, ha. Ooh, I know what there has forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. 'Cause when I'm walking with you, I watch the whole world change. No, baby, that's what you do. My baby, don't play. Blame it on my confidence. Oh, blame it on your measurements. Shut it down on side. That's right, 'cause we out here dripping in finesse. It don't make no sense, out here dripping in finesse. You know it, out here dripping in finesse. Hey, it don't make no sense, we out here dripping in finesse. You know it. Fellas, grab your ladies if your lady fine. Tell her she the one, for us. Ladies, grab your lady and let's do this right. If you're wrong one like me, yeah, you're mine. 'Cause we know we got it going on. 'Cause we know we got it going on. Yeah. 'Cause we out here dripping in finesse. Hey, it don't make no sense. You know it, out here dripping in finesse with my baby girl. Oh, that's right.